Hi, I'm Tebow, and this is my before and after Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice review. Tonight is opening night of Batman v Superman, and I'll be there, kind of excited to see what it'll look like. Based on what I've read and things I've seen about it, I'm vaguely hoping it'll be a good movie. The reviews have been a bit low on the score side, but that's not really all that surprising. Very few superhero movies really hit that high level where the reviewers are all super excited about it and just everyone wants to run out and see it. Like, there's a few, but a lot of the superhero movies that I've enjoyed have been kind of mediocre reviews. And that's okay. If I enjoy it, that's all that matters to me. But based upon the reviews, I am not really excited in some ways. There have been a lot of people who've been talking about how Zack Snyder is such a visual director that perhaps the story is what is lacking in Batman v Superman. And I am real worried about this simply because I'm a story person. I really enjoy movies that have a great story. And I don't know. I'll wait to see the movie to say whether or not I enjoy the story, but I'm a bit worried. The this movie seemed to be real good. You got Superman, played by Henry Cavill, and you got Batman, played by Ben Affleck. These are two good actors who I believe will pull in strong performances. You have Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, who they didn't show much of in the trailer, which makes me believe that she will not be in the movie for all that much, which would be alright. I mean, a quick little cameo and seeing her twice on screen might be just enough to get me excited for the actual Justice League movie. And then you have Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, who a lot of people were real frustrated and worried and not all that excited to see him when they initially announced him. I think he's definitely not the I'm going to put on a power suit and punch Superman in the face style of Lex Luthor, but as the cold, calculating Lex Luthor, I can definitely see it. The reviews have not really talked kindly about him. There's been a lot of talk that he hams up his performance too much and that he's a little over the top, going for comedy, which I think is completely possible. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out tonight. As far as Jeremy Irons as Alfred, I think he'll play a good Alfred. He's got that sophisticated, quiet look that he can pull off. Overall, it's a good cast of characters, and I'm not seeing many things bad about the cast. Jesse Eisenberg, maybe, but I'll reserve judgment until I see it. But the big bad guy of the movie is definitely Doomsday, who we saw in a couple trailers and was spoiled by that toy company earlier on. And overall, it seems like Doomsday is a bit of a odd choice for this movie. I personally feel like Doomsday would be much better held off for the first Justice League movie, or maybe like a storyline later on when they're all grouped together and fighting the good fight and all the fun stuff that's involved in that. I feel like Doomsday he's too iconic of a character to have him be one and done in Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. I definitely feel like he's also shoehorned in at the end of the movie, and it seems like the reviews agree with me on that. It seems as though he's going to be there for about half an hour at the end of the movie, destroying everything in his path, of course, and then he'll be defeated by the powers of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman combined, which is exciting, but I'm not really hoping to see him come down for a half an hour, get his ass kicked, and then leave. I want to see a lot more of Doomsday. I want to see him get a full movie devoted to him, and I feel like it's just a waste to put him in this movie at all. But the most important part of how this movie will succeed or fail is whether or not the pieces fit together cohesively. You got a lot of heavy hitters in this movie. You got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor, and Doomsday. And you have to introduce them in a way that people will remember who they are and will be excited to see them in the future. I am somewhat worried that Doomsday and Wonder Woman will be overshadowed by the main three characters of the movie, and in that way they might be forgotten, which in that way, if they are forgotten, Zack Snyder will be doing an injustice to those characters as a whole. Despite the possible mistakes pointed out by the reviews, I'm still excited to see this movie because I'm so hopeful that I'll walk out of the theater wanting to see the next one. And if that happens, then it was a good movie. And I will be pleasantly surprised by what I've seen. But I'll find out later tonight when I've actually seen the movie.
Action.
Alright, so we just got out of Batman v Superman, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. There were a lot of things that were moving around and a lot of parts in there, but it really came together with the visual style of Zack Snyder quite a lot more than I thought it would. I was very worried that there'd be pieces that would be lost, and for instance Wonder Woman would be kind of just in there just a tiny bit and we wouldn't get any idea of what she was like before. But it really did a good job to show her in a couple scenes and really give you an idea of who she was as a character before moving on. It set up a lot better than I thought it would for the Justice League Part 1 and 2. And overall, I'm pretty excited for those two movies. I was pleasantly surprised with Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And if you have a chance to see it, I say, go ahead and see it. But that's just my opinion. And my name is Tebow. Subscribe down below, and if you enjoy stuff like this, come back to see more of me in the future.